This is Hillsong, or Bethel, or Passion, or Sovereign Grace, or pick your favorite, your favorite ministry, the one that has all the musical excellence, the one that has the strong culture and the passionate worship and the great songwriting, the inspiring albums, the amazing production, one that has everything that you aspire to be one day. This is that ministry. I'm going to just call it Hillsong because, they were like long-standing, and you can think whatever you want about that, but we're just going to say this is Hillsong, and this is your team right here. 2 little stacked semi-crooked blocks that are almost teetering off the table. Now, if you did not know about this ministry right here, you would probably feel very content and blessed to have your 2 little teetering blocks. You'd be like, I love this. I get 2 blocks to play with. But then you look at this thing over here and you're like, mine doesn't look like that, right? Well, I don't know about you, but I try to stay off social media as much as possible because it's very depressing. We live in this very social media saturated society, and we have this tendency to look at what everyone else has and what everyone else is doing and all this cool stuff that we don't have, and we start to feel inadequate or discouraged, or maybe envious. And the joy that we're supposed to have for our little 2 blocks becomes reduced, or we miss it altogether because we're comparing our team or our ministry to others. And my wife loves to remind me that comparison is the thief of joy. When we look at our dinky little team in our dinky little church with our dinky, dusty, never cleaned soundboard, sound booth, and our cluttered stage, and our frustrating team members who never show up on time and never rehearse and know their parts. Oh my gosh. Anyone else? Yeah, keep going, right? You get it, okay. That we can look at our little thing and we can feel inadequate. Hopefully you don't feel that way, but if you do, I have some encouragement for you today. God did not call you to be Hillsong. God did not call you to be Bethel. God did not call you to look like, sound like, do things like these other ministries that we see all over the internet. It's wonderful to be inspired. I'm not trying to knock them. But that's not who you're called to be. God, the sovereign God of the universe, by the way, who's all wise and all powerful and who could put you in any situation he wanted you to be in, he chose to put you exactly where you are, with exactly the people that he gave you, in exactly the situation that you have, with all the cultural baggage that your church has and everything else. He chose to put you there to build something beautiful for his kingdom. He wants you to focus on your team, not in anyone else's team. He wants you to work with the people that you have, not the people that you wish you had. Your current team was given to you by God as a gift, and he does not see them as a dinky little team. He sees them as precious people, beloved people, valuable people that he purchased and paid for with his blood. He bought them with his life, he loved them by his death, and he gave them into your and my hands. That is astonishing. That is like, you would give me something, Lord, that you paid for with your life? You would entrust something that cost that much to me? To carry that, to care for that? That's amazing. And he says, feed my sheep, love my sheep, tend to my sheep, lead them, help them grow, help them to be blessed and prosperous in every aspect of their life. Don't just develop them as a team member, as a musician, develop them as a person, help them to take their next steps of faith and obedience. Don't look at your team and be frustrated by your team. Don't compare them to another person's team or another ministry that you see online and be dissatisfied with what you have, or discouraged because they don't live up to some made-up standard that doesn't even matter. Like, we're not supposed to compare what we have to what other people have. We're supposed to pour into what we have. I think a lot of times we want to be like these other ministries because for ourselves, to be honest. Like for our own egos, so that we feel validated, like, oh, I'm good at this, or look at me, look what I've done, look what I built, right? So a lot of times, I didn't know about you, but in my own ministry in the past, there was a lot of bad motivation there. And I was trying to build something big and awesome to validate my small self-esteem or self-worth. But God did not give us our ministries to amplify our egos or amplify our dreams or our desires, or He gave us our ministries to build his kingdom. He doesn't say use these people as a platform to achieve fame or notoriety for yourself or for your songs or for your songs to go viral or for your songs to be sung in other churches. And I'm not saying that stuff's bad, but like that shouldn't be our focus. Don't use your ministry as a stepping stone to the bigger church down the street. That's not, and I don't think anyone in this room is doing that, but maybe someone needs to hear that. That this team that God entrusted to you, that he purchased with his own blood that he gave to you, he wants you to do your best with this team. He wants you to love this team so well. He wants you to pour into this team so much. He wants you to give this team so much as people, not just as what they do, not just as for their function, but as people in his body, people in his church, to pour into them, to develop them, to invest in them. And I just want you to think about this question today. How are you doing at investing in your people? Like genuinely, like pause and reflect. How much are you investing into your people? Musically, are you doing any investment? Spiritually, how are you investing into them? Relationally, just in their spiritual life, how are you doing at investing in your people? Because I think a lot of times we look at these big ministries that have like such big impact in the world and we go, how did they do it? Why are they so good? Well, it's so simple. Let me tell you. It's because they've spent decades and decades focusing on their team, focusing on developing and caring for and cultivating and investing in and training their people. They've spent a lot. Whenever I talk to these large ministries, like they have spent, you're looking at 10, 20, 30 years of effort, energy, thought, prayer, intentionality, resourcing, discipling, developing every single member on their team. It didn't happen overnight. Do you know what Hillsong looked like? I'm using Hillsong as like an example. Do you know what they looked like when they first started? They looked like this. Pretty much like what you have. That's what they looked like. And then maybe in their first year, maybe it was in their second year, I don't know, they started investing, developing, being intentional. How can I train? How can I develop? And they stacked a block, year 1 or year 2, I don't know. And then year 3, they stacked a block. Year 4, they stacked a block. I'm not going to keep saying they stacked a block, but you get the picture. Every single year, they stacked blocks. Every year, they faithfully developed the people that they had. They focused on their team, not on someone else's team. They just kept doing the next right thing. It's kind of getting precarious there. That's until they became this towering ministry that we all get to benefit from today. And you're comparing your year 2 to their year 20. And that's not what God wants for you. He doesn't even want you to think about that. He just wants you to start stacking blocks at your church. Because I don't think Hillsong, maybe I'm wrong, I don't think they started out like, let's be famous. Like, that's our goal. Our goal is to be famous. No. Year after year, they faithfully invested into their people until they were so great at what they were doing and the culture was so strong that it started to spill over and benefit other people. Healthy, high-capacity teams spill over and bless others. I would say they're famous now because they are fruitful. And they became fruitful because the leadership was faithful. Fame wasn't the motivation, but I think it was the byproduct. And impact is the natural byproduct of a healthy team. And so when your team is healthy, it's going to naturally spill over and bless others. It's not the goal, it's the result. Okay? If you're chasing fame or notoriety or for your song or your church to be awesome or whatever, or even if you're looking at all the production here and like, wow, like this is so cool, I'm feeling really discouraged about my team, stop it. I'm sorry, just I don't want to be mean to you, but stop. Like, look at your people, see their value, love them, invest into them, pour into them, and start stacking the blocks at your church, one at a time. If you strive for fame or impact, you're focusing on the wrong things. But if you start to focus on the team that you have, and helping each member take the next step in their journey, spiritually, musically, in their life, you're going to find so much joy because you're not comparing yourself to others. You're going to find so much joy in those people, in seeing Sally learn to hear harmonies on her own without you having to send the file to her. Like, this is so awesome, Sally, I'm so excited. Or Johnny, the drummer, who always rushes the drum fills, and now he's actually staying on the click. You're going to be like, it's going to be exciting again. You're not going to feel discouraged, you're going to feel excited. You're not going to be discouraged at what you don't have, you're going to be excited that what you do have is improving, is growing. You're going to be proud that the song that Jennifer wrote is resonating with the church. You're going to be, it's going to bring so much joy back into your life when you stop comparing other ministries to yours and you start refocusing on your team. And as your team progresses year after year after year, you will surpass Hillsong. No, I'm just kidding. As your team progresses year after year after year, fame and impact and notoriety might come because you have a healthy, robust team, or it might not, and you don't care because that was never the point. That was never the point. Your team is your ministry. They always were and always should be your focus. And so I want to just give you the freedom to stop comparing yourself to everyone else and what everyone else is doing and refocus on your team. Find joy in loving and serving and developing each team member and keep stacking the blocks.